This video is titled Variables and Algebraic Expressions. So the first thing you need to know is, what is a variable? A variable is something that can change. If we have the expression 6 plus 2, there are no variables in that expression. It's a numerical expression. It contains numbers. Nothing will change. That answer is always going to be 8. Okay? A variable is represented by a letter. The most common letter you've probably seen is X. X can be any number. So if I have 6 plus X, I've just made an algebraic expression. It's called an algebraic expression because it has a variable. So here's the definition for a variable. A variable, write this with me, is a letter, and it's always a lowercase letter, not a capital letter, that stands for a number. I don't know why I started with an S. Stands, because that's supposed to be an S there. Okay. A variable is a letter that stands for a number. Interesting. Okay? And it can change. It can vary. So we have 6 plus X. Just write that over here again. And what if I say that X equals 3? Well, what will this expression now be if X equals 3? I take my X equals 3 and I replace it. So instead of 6 plus X, I'm going to say it's 6 plus 3. And that equals 9. Well, let's say I change it. I want X now to equal 5. X is going to equal 5. It's no longer going to equal 3. All right, well, if X equals 5, then this is going to be 6 plus 5. And 6 plus 5 is 11. So an algebraic expression can change depending on what your variable is. All right, let's do some more. This is an example of a problem you might see. The algebraic expression is 2x plus 5. This part is telling you what you're going to substitute the x for. So what will this be for x equaling 6? To do that, you have to replace the x with a 6. Now here is something that I may not remember, but I know you were told before. Whenever you have a number and a variable right next to each other, it means to multiply. So this means 2 times whatever x is going to be. 2 times 6, because I'm substituting the 6 for the x, plus 5. And now I follow Pemdas. This is why learning about Pemdas was so important. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 5. And 12 plus 5 is 17. So 2x plus 5 for x equals 6. The answer is 17. Here's another example using a different variable. This time our variable is going to be the letter A. And you also can notice this time we have 2 variables. And it's over here it tells us that A is going to equal 8. So wherever there is an A, I'm going to put an 8. So you would have to rewrite this: 8 divided by 2 plus 8. replacing all of the variables with the number it says to replace it with. All right? And now we follow PEMDAS. Follow PEMDAS, which means that we are going to divide before we add. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 plus 8 is 12. So A divided by 2 plus A, 4, A equaling 8. The answer is 12. All right, let's have you do some. Okay, well, before I let you do one a little bit more on your own, I want to show you one more example. This one involves exponents. Okay, we still do the same thing. Our variable now is the letter y. And notice all of these are lowercase. Y is going to equal 2. So wherever there is a y, we are going to replace that with a 2. This is 3. It's going to be times 2, and that is going to be squared, okay, minus 2 times 2. Notice I did both ways of showing multiplication, the dot and the parentheses. So the first thing you need to do is do your exponents according to PEMDAS. So this is going to be 3 times 4. Okay. After exponents, it's multiplication or division, whichever comes first. So we can do this one. 2 times 2 here is 4. So now I'm going to continue with my multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12 minus 4, and 12 minus 4 is 8. So remember how important it is to follow PEMDAS. Here's one last example, and this time we have 2 variables. Here is my algebraic expression. It has the variable x and a variable b. And over here, it tells you what x is and what b is. And all we have to do is plug it in. All right? So I'm going to plug in 12 divided by, over here, 3. Let's make that a better 3. 12 divided by 3 plus 2 times b, and b is 5, so 2 times 5. Now all my variables, I've now put in the number that they represent, and now I can follow PEMDAS. PEMDAS says I have to multiply or divide whichever comes first, and I have a division problem right here, don't I? 12 divided by 3. It's an improper fraction, so to change it to a mixed number, I would say, how many times does 3 go into 12? And you could say to yourself, hey, that goes in equally. 3 goes into 12 4 times. There's nothing left over. So I'm not going to make a mixed number, I'm just going to make a whole number. Because 12 divided by 3 is 4. Plus 2 times 5 is 10. 4 plus 10 is 14. So, following PEMDAS, and again, remember, always working down, circling your answer when you're done. Labeling if you have to, but we don't have to put any labels on. All right. Let's try some at your pace. All right, go ahead. We'll start off with this one. Copy the problem down. Replace your variable with the number. Follow PEMDAS and solve. Go ahead and pause, and when you're done, click the play button. Did you get it right? If you didn't, pause and take a look and see what you did wrong. All right, here's the next one for you to do. 5y squared plus 3y for y equals 2. So anywhere there's a y, replace it with the 2, follow Pemdas, and solve. Pause and do that. There you go. Check each step. See how you did. Okay, the last one that we're going to do is going to involve 2 variables. So copy this down as I write it. We're going to do 16 over c plus 7 times h. For c is going to equal 8, and h is going to equal 2. All right, pause and solve. This time I'm going to do each of the steps with you, or to show you, and you can follow what you have done and see how well you did it. All right, so first thing is I'm going to replace the c with an 8, and then I'm going to replace the variable h with a 2. Now I have my expression, and I'm going to solve. I'm going to start off with 16 divided by 8. It's an improper fraction. How many 8s go into 16? Well, 2 whole 8s, and I've got nothing left over, so it's just a whole number, 2. Plus 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 plus 14 is 16. All right, so that is your lesson on variables and algebraic expressions. Welcome to the beginnings of pre-algebra. Good job.